Hello, I'm Bonnie Tyler, and I'm obsessed with eclipses. I even sang a song about them. But it turns out that most people have no idea how they occur. Every now and then, there's a lunar eclipse. But how do they happen? Let's imagine this Jaffa cake is the moon. There are 3 types of eclipse. You've got the lunar eclipse, the solar eclipse, and then there's the total eclipse of the heart. When the Earth is situated between the moon and the sun, it creates a shadow. And when it looks like someone has just taken a bite out of the moon, that's a partial lunar eclipse. Now let's recap. Full moon? Half moon. Total eclipse.
Barking mad, absolutely barking
mad. That's Ian's new favorite ad of all time now.
Love Jaffa cakes. That was weird, though. That was weird. That can't be an advert, surely. That was too long to be an advert.
Too long, right? It was weird.
I don't know, maybe it was some sort of corporate video, but I love the fact that she comes sort of hovering out of the centre like something out of the Tomorrow People. It's like really
That's wild. Like something like if you get up like at 1 a.m. and turn on the TV, like on Sky TV or ITV, you'll see something like that in the middle of the night.
Yeah, you think I've been drinking too much of that root beer. That's what you'd be thinking. Okay, so yes, the proper, yes, so prop dude, this is the proper show now, sort of, or proper improper show. This is where we get it stuck into it. There's no denying we may be living in the streaming age, but plenty of us are a particular breed of old dog. And our oldest habits, they die especially hard. We still hunger for the movies and the TV in the formats that we've loved collecting right the way from childhood into our second childhoods, and some of us even our third by now. I think I blame the opening of the mom and pop video stores all over the country, and then the big chains like Blockbuster and Ritz and all those. It meant that I got addicted to physical media pretty damn quickly, and before I knew it, one thing led to another, and I'd lost walls of my home to physical media, to shiny discs in particular, and it's never really stopped, Ian. Before you know it, you're a physical media addict, and every night is physical media night. Who needs the multiplex? Who needs 3-hour movies that numb the bum when we can enjoy it all within the comfort of our own home, whichever format is our preference and whatever region we are in. So we're here to discuss more, whatever turns up, whatever springs to mind here, as I am seriously flagging in this third heat wave, I think it is. I've sort of lost track by now, but thankfully I'm joined by my countryman, Ian David Deers, the mega geek, who's in the trenches with me right now. He's sweating his knackers off. You're sweating your mega knackers off, aren't you, mate?
I am. It's just too hot. It really is today. My God.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, thanks for coming on anyway. He's agreed to it now, right. So we can't let him go, Rabbi. We can't let him go. We've got the Rabbi from another planet here. What's the temperature like where you are, mate?
It's
right
now
warm?
I'm under the air conditioning, so it's 24. It's lovely.
You
it was hot out today. Today was Sabbath here in Israel. But I was in Marseille. My kids were here, so they came for lunch. That was at 1. But my son came round earlier. He had some Korean whiskey and some sake he wanted me to try. And then I woke up at about 11, right, after that. And then I saw
11, 2 days later.
It was like, it really knocked me out, right? I am such a lightweight. I'm a cheap date,
I'm glad you could make it after all. And last, but by no means least, the retro doc, Gary Akers. He's here too. Yes, standing up.
Where it's a balmy, like overcast, nice and breezy here.
Is this LA?
That's LA, baby.
No, Orange County. I'm about an hour south of LA.
All right, okay.
By the way, I just want to warn everybody is now I am single, right? I finished my divorce last week.
Lock up your daughters. Lock up your mothers.
All I'm saying is Scarlett Johansson may come around any minute, right? And I'm like, Scarlett, that's all I have to go, is what I'm saying. But I'll say, Scarlett, darling, Scarlett, love the Jewishness of it. Let's drop the feminism. And, we can both have a good time. right?
Yeah.
And that I think will woo her, right?
Well,
Are you? Have you been avoiding that little girl, Rabbi?
Oh God, yeah. Oh, okay, I was sitting in synagogue today, right? I was okay. There's a thing where you're supposed to read you serialize the Bible and you read a portion each week, right? In Judaism,
That's cool.
And so I was reading. You're supposed to read it twice with the translation, right? So I was just doing this, reading in Hebrew, right? And she comes in, and I'm like, "There's not that many people in the room." She's like standing right next to me, and I start playing with my cheeks and stuff. I'm like, "Hi, how you doing?"
That's not good.
I'm telling you, that girl is going to get someone in jail. I'm
yeah, you.
Not me. I'm staying in public, baby. I'm saying, although my grandchildren were around as well, and they're like,
that's good.
They can like do stuff now.
You're like Santa Claus.
Oh God, it was so much fun.
I think in celebration.
Okay, that's another thing I want to bring up. I made a major revelation to myself the other day. I've lost since I broke up with my wife. I lost about between 30 and 40 kilos, like a lot. Right, I'm on my third pair of old pants. It's still like now it's got like 8 inches too big. Right, so I've lost a lot of weight, but I've gone down from being inhumanly fat, like fat where you go, that can't be a human. The what? No, that's some kind of CGI shit. What? That makes no sense, right? To being morbidly obese. So that's where I am right now.
Stop.
But it is. I've lost a ton of weight.
We can. I think if we'd have realised that the dates were all lining up, we could have arranged for a few girls to come and keep you company.
Well,
but
again, keep on hold for another couple of weeks. We're in a Jewish mourning period, and they may make me smile. I don't know. Or they may make me have such a good time I don't smile. I don't know. Okay, if I was going to have sex with a Star Trek alien, it would either be obviously the green chicks, what they called again.
Orions.
Orion, or I would love a Vulcan, right? A Vulcan that can like initiate Ponfar. That's got to be crazy.
Yeah.
There you go. Sydney Sweeney, Vulcan in Ponfar. I would like that.
See, that's how somebody needs to tell Paramount. That's how they revive Star Trek. They make her an Orion girl and cast her as the lead in a show.
It's a winner. It's a winner. I think we have to call time on some of this sexist behaviour. No, of course we don't. Of course we don't, Hooks. No, it's all fine here. This is absolutely fine with us. We're joined by a live chat here. People are chiming in with more obscenity and nonsense as befits this show, including Matthew Pounder. He's here too, and we've got Chris is still in the live chat. He's plugging away at it. He's up to something. He's trying to right or wrong. I dare say we'll find out in due course. Lucy Meow is there as well, and lots more. Stay hydrated, advises Matthew Pounder there. So
hydrate.
Yeah, I think that's a good advice at any time. Particularly if you've got something on the go. If you picked up something at a bricks and mortar store, or if you've had something delivered recently, you know how it goes. It's always something new to unwrap and to slam in the player. On your physical media night, and that's very much what we're about here on this show, sort of geared around physical media and streaming and whatever else. And this is show number 8. So we've been at this for a little while now, and it'll be refined as we go along. I realised last week I think I probably chose the wrong name for this show, so that will be rectified too, all in good time. But Gary, I understand you've picked up a few things lately. You've placed some pre-orders, or are these things you're going to have delivered that you've sent along for us to look at?
If you're talking about the 3 photos I sent you, these are all pre-orders that all came in like within 24 hours of each other that I saw, and I thought, wow, this is like Christmas, because I love all 3 of these that I sent you. It was like boom, boom, boom. I saw these within hours on.
What'd you get?
You're not the only person who's been writing to me about the Sheep Detectives.
This is I cannot praise this movie enough. This is I mean it's now, you can watch it now on Amazon. When I saw it was on physical media, I thought I've got to get it. It's basically, don't let people say, oh, it's just like a Babe ripoff. It's not. It's basically it's a murder mystery, but it takes place in a British village. It's kind of like, Knives Out. It's a murder mystery, but he's this shepherd who's like the beloved shepherd of this flock, and it's not giving anything away. There is a murder, and the sheep take it upon themselves to investigate, because he used to read every night murder mysteries
This sounds
to them.
delightful.
So
totally
they
gonna
are the effects are impeccable, and it's based on a novel. But basically, then there's humans in there. Obviously, there's Emma Thompson there on the cover in the purple. There's the dimwit policeman that the sheep realize they have to help. And the guy in the back is Tosin Cole from a show that we really can't mention the name of on this. And the little guy there in front is the winter lamb that nobody likes, because winter lambs aren't accepted as part of the flock.
Here's the thing, and all that kind of thing. This sounds to me, if you were to replace the Thursday Murder Club, get rid of the old people and replace them with sheep. That sounds like this.
I am not. Okay, give me a minute. I am not.
Which I'm.
I have not gone crazy. First of all, the mystery is really, really good and really well done. The effects, the sheep, each of them have a distinct character, voiced by people that you will recognize when you see the end credits. When the shepherd is who's their guardian, their shepherd is poisoned. The flock takes it upon themselves to go into the human world and try to feed clues and everything. The writing, I can't get over the writing. Ian, you will. There is a point where there is a scene in this where, because the sheep, have a lot of understanding about some things, limited on another. And somebody mentions God at one point, and they go, who is God? Oh, God, God is a lamb. God is this. God is that. And I'm going, whoever wrote that absolutely is a believer, because you wouldn't have that kind of dead-on dialogue. There's a lot of really honestly mature, really honestly, like from the heart ideas about grief, about mortality, about sheep want to forget, because it's easier to forget than to deal with like sad things. And then it's like one of the wise sheep goes, no, you have to remember, because that's how you remember the good things. If you forget everything, you don't remember the good. There's like so much. I had a friend of mine and I watched this on Amazon, and then we went to dinner afterwards. And I said, really, really young kids won't get a lot of the themes in this, but if you have a kid old enough to understand, say 10 and up, this movie would provide a lot of really good dialogue about how to deal with loss, grief, whatever. And it's all to me, this is an instant classic to me. I'm going to see this movie. I'm going to see this movie 10
Please
times.
Don't tell me anymore, right? Don't tell me anymore.
No, I won't. I'm going to see this movie 10 times because it sounds
brilliant. Lovely.
I have a few friends that have actually. Sorry, mate. I have a few friends that have actually seen this. None of them are kids. A lot of them are adults, and they say it's really good. So, yeah, probably check it out.
Okay, Ian, if you watch it and you go, it's okay, it's the greatest movie ever made.
Okay.
It wasn't bad. What? Really? What?
Yeah.
And I got to admit, there's more than one point in this movie where you will shed a tear.
Did you say this was streaming already? That's on Amazon Prime?
Oh yeah, no, it's on Amazon. You can right after the show, you can go onto Amazon Prime and watch it.
I think when the weather cools down, I'll have to watch this. I'll go for this. You've also got a couple of TV shows, including this one starring a former.
Okay, I almost did a backflip when I found out that this was coming on, because first of all, I think the DVD of this is long out of print. This was about 10, 12 years ago. It was a single season show here on ABC, but which deserved to run far, far longer. Basically, this is a show called Forever. You'll recognize the actor, Ian Griffith. He's been in a lot of movies. He was in the original Fantastic Four. He was in a great movie called Amazing Grace. A lot of that. Basically, the premise of this is, it takes place obviously in modern times. He's a New York City coroner, medical examiner. But we come to find out that he's basically like 2 centuries old, that whenever he dies, he comes back to life. He doesn't know why, he doesn't know how, he's trying to figure it out. So as he's solving these current mysteries with the help of this beautiful New York police detective who does not know his secret. We flash back to different points in his life as he's what his life over the last 200 years has been. If you know the actor Judd Hirsch, who played in Taxi and a lot of it, Judd Hirsch actually plays his son, who was born in World War II, but because he doesn't age, he lives with his son, who everybody thinks is his father. But it's actually really his son.
That's the clever. Okay, that sounds interesting.
And so he's trying to solve the mystery of his immortality. Dan, who was the actor who was in a Torchwood, who was not the Captain Jack, but who was the other guy? Burn Gorman is in this as the recurring villain. And
it sounds like Highlander without swords.
He's solid in everything.
Yeah, it's tragic that it lasted. There was a massive fan campaign to get it renewed when it was canceled, but it didn't come to anything. But it's well worth a watch if the premise at all intrigues you. It's really
sounds like my kind of thing. I don't know why I didn't watch this at the time. Oh, I think I do actually.
It's a TV show.
This is on the Warner Archive Collection label, Ian, and they've just started. This is something that Gary's been several people have been telling me about for a few years, because we didn't have that label over here, but now we've started to get Warner Archive titles in HMV.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to. Sorry, Gary, have you finished? Sorry,
no. For this one, I have. Yeah, please go ahead.
All right. No, I was just saying. I went to Westfield a couple of days ago, and I got 2 Blu-rays. You'd laugh. I couldn't resist it. I got Moonraker. It's still
that's great. I love it.
Yeah, Moonraker. I got Moonraker, and I thought, you know what? It was just sitting there on the shelf, and it was like a reduced price. And I thought, you know what? I really love this movie. I don't care what anyone said. I just love it.
Dr. Goodhead in it.
I think he's attempting re-entry.
Yeah, it's so good. and then I got Living Daylights, which I think is one of the best James Bond films. So. That's
Living Daylights, Ian. I gotta say, Living Daylights, Ian, I think to me probably has my all-time favorite Bond stunt, which is that grabbing onto the net as it flails behind the plane at the end, and they're desperately trying to. That's a great stunt.
Okay, you can't touch the GoldenEye dam.
That was good too. They're all good.
That's one of the great, and it's between that and the Spy Love Me, right?
But also, one of the reasons why I wanted to get Moonraker was because I've never seen Moonraker in Blu-ray, and I want to see if the effects still holds up.
Yeah, they do.
You know the history behind the effects, right? So Broccoli went to ILM and said, well, we're doing Moonraker. How much would you charge to do all the effects in it? And they just told them this enormous fee. And so Broccoli was like, no. And they went to every special effects company in the world, and it was just too much money. So he fell back to Derek Meddins, and he said, Derek, after he's read the script, can you do these effects? And he went, I could try. so all the effects in this film is the effects that they did in Space 1999, which is like have a model on black and then run the film backwards, then put something else in, run the film backwards. And there's this one shot in the film, and I don't know if you know the history behind this, where you remember the film where all the pilots are attacking, and there's a big laser fight outside of Moonraker. Well, they roll the film back 72 times just to get 72 bits in one shot, and they were so nervous. They were like rolling back, and I think this is not going to work. It's not going to work. And when it was printed out, they were amazed. It worked really well. So this is, I really want
Space 1999. Space 1999 was ended only a couple years before the production of this movie. Yeah, it was pretty close.
So and just on a side note, Aliens did the same technique effects as Moonraker as well, and they won an Oscar for it, and they didn't use any remote control cameras at all.
Ian, did Moonraker come out in 79?
Yeah, I think so.
In between Star
Wars.
That
has one of the all-time great villain lines where he goes, "That's Mr. Bond. See that some harm comes to him."
Honestly, he is the best thing about Moonraker. That guy, that Drax fella, he's so awesome.
Yeah,
I'm telling you. I love this film. Villains. I can't tell you how much I love this film.
If it was like a rainy Sunday afternoon and I want to watch a Bond movie, that's probably the Bond movie that I.
It's great. It's great, and also it's gorgeous looking as well. The women are gorgeous, and they have really stupid comedy, and then they have sequences where it's so horrible, like the girl that gets chewed up by the dog.
Oh yeah.
Where he tells the girl to run.
Corinne Cleary. That was
so
the name of
awful.
Yeah,
she's lovely.
Was that Holly Goodhead? I can't remember.
No,
that was Lois Childs. That was the main. She was the one who the girl you're talking about. She's like it's like this. It's a beautiful shot for a really horrible event. She's running along in the woods in this negligee and stuff, almost like out of a romance novel. And then the dogs just descend on her.
And they have all these streams of light coming from the trees and stuff. And as she gets to a point, it's amazing. Sorry,
those moments, Ian, they used to haunt me when I was a kid. The film that was the worst for it was Damien, The Omen 2. There's lots of things like that, things that would just prey on my mind, and the chasing the woman with the dogs, that was in line with that. Dogs, generally speaking, obviously there are no bad dogs, only bad owners. I think a lot of people would say that. I can think if there's a really good dog who's involved with your third pickup here, isn't there, Gary? This particularly good dog.
Dan, you remain the master of transitions. I bow down to your transition ability.
Thank you. I'm here
I have never been a massive Scooby-Doo fan. Obviously, I've seen a few episodes of the original series because back in the original, if you've seen one, you've seen them all, basically. And I never watched any of the 55 different Scooby-Doo series that followed after that, except for this one. I decided to try. And this one stands out for a lot of reasons. Basically, this was a 2-season show. It's serialized. It's basically a single 52-part story that they keep building on and adding in. And there's so well written. There's a lot of homages to Stephen King, H.P. Lovecraft, David Lynch, basically. And this basically is like Scooby-Doo Year Zero. This takes place before every other series, and so the central mystery, builds and builds and builds with different tangents, and everything folds back into the main single mystery. But the fact that it's just not like a single 20-minute show where the evil realtor, puts on a mask and tries to, but it's like a single, it's like an entire 52-part story that really then they stick the landing. It's really done well, and once again, the DVDs of this one have been out of print forever. So, or at least one of the seasons does. But to me, it's like, what's the point of getting one?
I did, of course. My kids loved Scooby-Doo, so they were raised on Scooby-Doo too. But I think this came out after they'd grown up, so I was aware that it was on, but they kind of left Scooby-Doo behind, and so I didn't see this one. I watched the one that was before this, which was called What's New Scooby-Doo, which was a kind of hybrid of the original show and the kind of like the faster paced X-Men Batman animated series style animated series. It was very contemporary, but it had all the classic sort of tropes of old Scooby-Doo. It was a brilliant update, and they told different kinds of stories. So some of them would be sci-fi, some would be kind of gothic horror, the way that the original ones were. So it was a really really good quality show that ran for 3 or 4 years. But again, that's when my kids left it behind. So did I. And I'm aware there's been about 6 versions since. This one certainly looks, as regards the character design, I mean, this looks the most authentic.
Yes, I was just going to say that. You look at the animation on this one. If in your mind you think of the original series, which is basically just the flat 2D Hanna-Barbera animation, this is much fuller. You can tell by the shading and the shadows on this one. It's much fuller animation, and like I said, it's like very dark. There's things wrapped around. They bring in elements of Stephen King and Lovecraft and all of this, and they actually use characters from other Hanna-Barbera series. Like if you remember one of the Scooby-Doo spin-off series called Dynamite with the Blue Falcon, those characters come back, but in a really, really dark way. So they revisit other Hanna-Barbera characters from this same genre, but everything is more this. I would not show this. I would not show a 5 or 6 year old this series.
You'll be telling me next at all. You'll be telling me next they take part in the Laugh Olympics.
Yeah, no, that's I would okay. I would have one TV in the other room where my 5-year-old would go watch Laugh Olympics, and if you're like 11 or 12 or then I would show them this. This is not a show for a 5-year-old.
This looks really, really good. So have these been delivered now? So you're going to start on these, or are they coming in the post?
I've pre-ordered them, and they all, it seems like they all come out around the same time in August, but they're all pre-ordered.
Very good, very good. You probably won't be surprised to learn, Ian, that I am still watching Dallas. I'm still watching Dallas, Gary. So I think by the time we next come back with a further run of these shows, I may have even finished the classic series of Dallas. So I'm halfway through season 13 of the 14 seasons. So I've got, of the original run at any rate. So I've got some TV movies to come after that, and then the reboot, the restart of it they did about 15 years ago. So I never thought, when I ordered that box set, I thought there's no way I'll ever make it. Halfway through that, it's been a fabulous viewing experience. This show is still sensational, addictive, great quality. Just a fun show to watch. I can't recommend it highly enough. And I've been riveted. People told me, "Oh, you'll want to stop watching this at season 9 or 10 because it goes off the boil." It went off the boil for about a year. It was very quickly back. So this has been a great show. I've spent nearly 3 years. So whenever the next Amazon Prime Day is, which I think actually it might have been last week. So it was 3 years ago. I bought this for £48 on Amazon Prime Day. Best 48 quid I think I've ever spent on physical media. 3 years of solid entertainment. This is the reason why I don't need a BBC TV license. I can just relive the 80s. I relive the 80s all over again. Of course, the box is huge. It doesn't quite take up an entire shelf, but it's not far off, which doesn't go anything to solving my problem, this sort of problem that I have. They're everywhere. They're everywhere, Rabbi, and I know that you favour the hard drive, but they're all over my place. And so I'm trying to be more sparing in what I buy. I don't know if you find this, Ian. Ian just clearly goes on impulse and goes into a shop and pulls off a couple of things off the shelf that he fancies, Gary. But I would buy everything if I could, and particularly when there is a sale on. Well, when the clock starts ticking and there's a sale on, and they tell you what date the sale ends. You think, oh, should I have a look? Should I have a look? And like a fool, I often do. There are several sales running at the moment. But you mentioned this one in particular, the Kino Lorber Studio Classics sale, which is running for another week or so. Did you say? I think I've got the.
I think through like the 20th or something.
Here we are on the website. Yes, Monday, July the 20th. So you've got about 8, 9, 10 days left on this as of time of recording. The problem I have is that they usually have, say, 5 or 6 pages worth of stuff that they've knocked down at the discount price, and you've got the ticking clock there. And I add some stuff to my cart and I make a note of it, and then before you know it, I've spent, mentally, I've spent about 100 quid. And do you have that problem as well?
I actually went through, I think this one has like, 20 pages at least. It's like there's several hundred titles and everything is like from $4.99 to $9.99. Unbelievable. So, and there were a few that I saw that I wouldn't have considered, but at the reduced price, I thought, yeah, I'm going to give it a try. Everything's alphabetical. All the listings, start obviously with the movies with numbers in them and then go A through Z. But it's worth scrolling through because I was surprised by some of the things that I didn't know were on Kino Lorber, which are getting discounts. And it's not just like the Z-list stuff that they want to clear the warehouse of. Even stuff that's been released like last month they're knocking down price for. So this
is my least favorite label, because some of my favorite films are on this label, but they don't do they don't do region free.
Yeah,
and so I can't actually buy them. It's really, really frustrating because maybe it's a good thing because I'd probably go mad in buying from them. Just in the same way that I've sort of got addicted to Arrow. They've also got a sale on up to 50% off, and virtually everything that I've been looking at over the last 6 months and sort of think, oh, get that. It's all come cheap at exactly the same time, courtesy of Arrow in their sale. So the problem that I have quite often is that I get stuck in. And I look at all these different sales and you think, well, how should I prioritize? Because I can't afford all of this stuff. And I haven't got time to necessarily watch all of this stuff before the next sale. And in the end, I get sort of paralyzed with not with fear as such, but I get paralyzed with simply having too much choice and with an abundance of options that I end up, quite often the case, I don't buy anything because I get overwhelmed. Does anybody else? Do you have that problem as well?
Yeah, it's unfortunately, like some of the things you just showed, like, you know, the Westworld set from Arrow, like that one I already got. The Salem's Lot, which is I think the definitive release for this miniseries. Yeah, for me it's just been like, do I really want to, you know, am I going to watch it more than once type of thing? You have all these little things in your mind that you help you decide. But I mean, some of these, and Arrow's not usually overpriced. It's like, you know, they don't like overly, I mean, you get what you get from Arrow, I think mostly justifies the price. Hi, Father Miller. You know, even for something like Westworld, they stack it to the brim with extras, even though it's only like an 85-minute movie. But at 50% off, I mean, you know, that's a good deal. I didn't know about them. I'm going to have to go and see what...
There's several sales on by some of my favorite labels. Arrow is obviously something that you guys have got me completely addicted to, but there's some great titles over at Fabulous Films as well, TV shows as well as movies, and some of the box sets are very seductive in that they are uncut releases of shows that I've got on DVD that they've put out on Blu-ray, and they've managed to get the original music for things like Quantum Leap and all that kind of thing all back in the show. I think, oh, I really like this as nature intended. But yeah, so there's just too much choice. Let us know in the live chat there on YouTube if you are paralyzed with the problem of too much choice as well. Ian, how do you decide which stuff you're going to pick up? Do you shop online, or do you always trek down to HMV or somewhere like that?
If it's something special, like something that everybody's waiting for, yeah, I order it on Amazon or wherever I can get it from. But generally, I like going to, because there's only one HMV now, and that's in Westfield. So I go down there and I spend most of half a day really just browsing, and you know, because I love HMV. They got stuff, they got posters, they got t-shirts, they got, you know, Blu-rays, DVDs, TV shows. Do you know what I mean? It's better than watching it on, because when you watch it on streaming, the quality is not so good. It's just half quality, isn't it? But if you get it on Blu-ray, you're getting, you know, a lot of quality out of it. So because they compress the picture on these streaming platforms. So yeah, I'd rather watch something on Blu-ray or DVD than watching it on streaming. So yeah, I go straight to the source and get my stuff basically.
One of the movies that I because I still have to go through the long list of Kino Lorber stuff, but one of the movies I saw marked down in both, and it's not just the Blu-ray. I mean, they have like 4Ks that are also at like 70% off and stuff. One of them being I know that Ian will probably remember this movie, the John Hughes movie Career Opportunities with Jennifer Connelly. That's marked down hugely. So I think it's like, okay, that's I can't avoid that now. So
yeah, I do love a trip to HMV, particularly the one in Birmingham City Centre. I think I've spoken about this before. Prop Dude Shop asks on YouTube, all 4K is region free? No, it isn't. No. There are several labels, just a couple of labels that are hanging on to a gentle filter system, and sadly, Kino Lorber is one of them. But obviously, the kind of region designations are on their way out. Funky is going to HMV next week to get a Blu-ray, possibly a 4K for Funky's birthday. Happy birthday in advance there. And Father Miller in the live chat there, hi Father, says, I'm buying a region-free player soon as I want shows over there that I can't get here. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good idea. A good strategy, I think, a good strategy to stick to. Yeah,
I don't know. For me, I'd like seeking out really films that really I liked, but it's really hard to get. I'm looking for a film called Lucas. I don't know if you guys remember that film, Lucas. It was a romantic teenage thing with Corey Haim.
Yes,
and Kerry Green.
He was on a football team, right?
Yes. And I remember watching that very young and very taken aback by it. only because of Kerry Green, of course. So I've been looking for that everywhere to try and get that film. I haven't found it yet, though. But I'm sure they have it in America. They probably have it on some platform or whatever. There's that one, and there's loads of little films that I haven't seen in ages that I want to watch again. I don't know. I mean, oh, gosh, what did I watch a couple of days ago? And that was on Blu-ray. Gross Point Blank, which I still love to this day. I don't know if you guys watched that.
John Cusack.
Really
yes,
John Cusack. Yeah, great movie. But yeah, seeking out the ones that are not that popular is my goal now. Trying to find the small ones and stuff, So
I was just FYI, Ian, just checking like Amazon for Lucas. It looks like every version of this has been out of print because there's no like current, which means hopefully then somebody will then pick up the license for it at some point. But
yeah,
the lowest price for that is you can get the DVD for $219.
Yeah, I just don't want I want it on Blu-ray. But I don't think they have the British. Is it NTSC? Isn't it that copy? Right.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
If it's an out-of-print DVD, it's probably not region free.
Stephen Braddock is off to the Blue Water HMV next week, and
yes,
Pop Shop says I'm pretty selective with new purchases. I used to be mental with 3D Blu-rays, but those are so rare these days. Occasional upgrades to 4K, pretty much, but never if I already have on 3D. I don't have any of those 3D.
Do they
ones.
still make 3D TVs?
No, it's all gone. Shame, but it'll be back. 3D will be back eventually. They can never leave it alone for too long, can they, Rabbi? It's too seductive an idea.
Next time it comes back, it'll be without glasses.
What?
next time it comes back, it'll be without glasses.
Anybody who's even remotely interested in Arrow's product, I just kind of quickly did an initial cursory glance at what's being offered in this sale. There are some great titles being offered for that Dark City 4K for $25, the Excalibur 4K, the Dune 4K. These are all hugely marked down.
Which version of Dune is it?
It's the new one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. 12 Monkeys 4K. Yeah. Sorry.
Head over to Arrow and to Fabulous Films and to Kino Lorber if you dare there. If you've got some money burning a hole in your pocket, and let us know what it is that you pick up. Victor Fontaine says, yeah, I dropped $200 at the Kino Summer Heat Sale. So it's easily done. It's easily done. If they've got a load of stuff listed that you've wanted for a while, yeah.
There's a movie that I've been looking for ages, and I only saw it on some obscure channel. It's called Lean on Me, and it stars Morgan Freeman, and it's one of his early roles. He plays a teacher of a high school.
It's like a C2 movie at 11 at night.
Yeah, it's really good. He's really good in it, and I'm quite surprised he didn't win an award for it, but he's absolutely terrific in it. And if you ever get a chance to see Lean on Me, it is worth your time, let me tell you. It's an old film, and it has old values, but he's terrific in it. So and I haven't found it anywhere on Blu-ray or DVD. Maybe Gary might find it now. Looking now, it's like, what?
Well, let's see. It was called Lean on Me. All right, let me.
If you have a word with the right people, you'd be amazed what turns up here, and it's quite surprising. And you'd be surprised who turns up, particularly in the green room here. When they have their link, I'm happy to say he has made it back. I think he may have a story to tell. I don't think he's been out getting monkey drunk with Ollie Reed. It sounds a lot less pleasant than that for the mighty Bolstrek and mate Chris back on the show. Hi Chris, what's cooking?
Hi everyone.
Hello mate.
I've had a terrible day.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I dropped in earlier and I heard you were all talking about the weather. Well, I've got a story of fun and misery for you. put on your sad hats because you're about to hear a sad tale, which in retrospect might be funny, but if you laugh, I might get even grumpier. So in my house, which was built in 1934, so I got my front door and my back door. The house flipper that I bought it from back in the day was an idiot. So both the front and the back shift a lot when we have sudden temperature changes. This becomes, to use a word, problematical when you have a deadbolt in both of those doors. And you all have heard me complain about the insane weather conditions we've had here, where it just changes on a dime. And earlier this morning, the temperature rose by somewhere between 10 to 15 degrees in about 5 minutes. It was the opposite of a cold snap. And I could hear things in my house adjusting because you could actually feel the heat rising. This is not normal. So I'm like, well, this sucks. And so I had been fighting with my, I usually don't use my back door because it's such a mess. I'm just like, it's enough to fight to get the thing to stay closed. So usually I just leave it. So I took Sky, my dog, out this morning before the temperature change, and there was the deadbolt at the front of my house. So I'm adjusting these things up and forth. It's back and forth. It's very frustrating how much my door actually shifts in like completely different directions depending on whether it's hot or cold. So here's where my story gets really shitty. So I took Sky out this morning. I'm like, oh, this is shifting. This is not good. So then I went a little bit later to take Sky out. See, Ian's so frustrated with my story, he's left. I haven't even gotten to the frustrating part.
I haven't left. I'm still here.
So I'm going to go take my dog out again after this sudden heat shift. And so I go to open the deadbolt.
And you can't.
It's frozen in place because the door had shifted to the point that the bolt had actually almost fused to the door because the door had shifted to that point. And while trying to get this off, I actually broke the thing. And the back door previously, which I had just kind of left because I was frustrated, but that one had also shifted to the point that it could not open. So I was effectively trapped in my house with a dog that had to go outside and go pee. So if you think about how much I yelled during one of my videos, amplify that by a factor of 10, and you'll get an idea of the noises that were coming out of my mouth. There was a lot of potty mouth. So eventually, the front door was screwed, but eventually I went to the back, so I was able to force it open. It wasn't going to close again. That I basically destroyed the other deadbolt trying to at least force that one open. The front one wasn't at all. So keep in mind, this is a Saturday. So my front door is fused. My back door won't open, or my back door will no longer close. So I'm kind of screwed. And at this point, it's like it's like completely destroyed. So it's beyond the point of me even attempting to fix either of these things myself. So I had to call a locksmith on a Saturday as an after hours call. And my front door was jammed to the point that even the locksmith was impressed. He's like, are you cursed? I'm like, yeah, my dishwasher died last week too. So things are just great. So I'm now very broke. The good news is the door is now fixed. Like the whole mechanism had to be replaced, and you pretty much had to destroy what was left of it to get it open. The back door, I've gotten it so I can shut it. I'm not paying even more money to fix that, so it will at least close. So if you want to know why I was not here, I was dealing with that situation at the beginning of the stream. So I've had a terrible day. It's not Amityville. It might be. No, actually, you'd feel safer living in Amityville house than you would in my freaking neighborhood. So that's my story. I've got homeless people pooping in my backyard. I've got possessed locks. I have no dishwasher because it died, although it's possessed. It came back to life and ran an empty cycle while I was away, then promptly died again. So waiting to see what's going to happen next. Oh yes, and one of my Blu-ray players died. Luckily, it wasn't the 820, but I'm still mad. So that's my day.
Yeah, that's. I think you win. I think that's even worse than the heat here. I think. Yeah.
The heat here is terrible. It is. It's over 40 degrees right now. This is a normal heat though, Dan. What caused this? Because usually it shifts slowly as the heat and when we have minus 40 in the winter, it will shift. But normally it shifts slowly because usually temperatures don't rise or fall this quick. But when you have what I'm estimating is we went from with Humidex, I'd say from about 22 to about 40 in less than an hour, and the bulk of it was in about 5 minutes. When you have that kind of temperature shift, things break. So I'd like to thank the WEF for their weather manipulating devices, which, yes, that's a thing. I'm going to shut up now because I'm so angry my throat hurts.
I can imagine. The sympathy in the live chat here on YouTube from our friends, including Nicholas Horton there. It says, Prop Dude says, sounds familiar, Bolstrek. I put a knee through a ceiling drywall trying to install Atmos speakers. Lesson learned. Hang in there.
Pro Dude Shop. I'm going to tell you how I install speakers, which is the easiest way of doing it. I just leave the wires because I am too lazy to do anything about it, and I just put them behind furniture. And if anybody wants to complain, I don't care. I did it once. I will never do it again.
Yeah, I had a similar story with speakers. Yeah. So glad you could make it in the end. I'd like to say, well, look, you've missed the murder inquiry that's taking place in Britain right now. We were talking about that earlier on, and you missed our talk about what else did we cover? About Gary's recent picks here. But we have been talking about how
easy his new TV
become.
No, not yet.
We've been talking about how easy it is to become overwhelmed when some of our favourite labels decide to launch sales at the same time, such as Kino Lorber. There's Kino Lorber. They've launched a sale. It's absolutely chocker full of stuff that Gary's got his eye on. Arrow have also launched a sale.
I have a comment about that Kino sale. The Kino sales, I will never do it again because it's great if you're in the US and do it. But if you try and do it from Canada, you're going to be paying out the ass, even more so if they were at regular price, because whoever does the shipping or the importing, exporting through Kino Lorber, and Severin does the same thing, doesn't actually know what they're doing, and they don't have these classified as media. I think the last time they were all classified as different things. I think one of them was a goddamn raincoat. I don't know what it was, but I ended up paying as much in import fees and taxes and duty that I did on the things themselves. So word to wise, if you're in Canada, Vinegar Syndrome, Arrow, great. Severin,
I was scrolling through all the Arrow titles on offer in this sale. If you're a genre fan at all, science fiction, fantasy, horror, do yourself a favor and go browse through that site because there are dozens of genre movies in this sale.
And Arrow is awesome. I will not be buying anything after what I just gave the locksmith on an emergency weekend call. So I will not be partaking in any sales myself for the immediate future. But I could say Arrow's sales are awesome. And they are, if you're in Canada, they are actually the best company to deal with. Unlike the other ones, and Shout was one of these until they shut it down. They purposely have a small office in Toronto. So even though they're coming from the US, the actual ship from office is from Toronto. You do not pay extra taxes. You don't pay duty or anything. It just comes straight to you. But here's the thing with Arrow. Order everything at once because multiple orders, you'll be paying multiple shipping fees. But yes, I am very sad that I won't be able to partake. But you all know how much I love Arrow, unlike the company which shall not be named.
Well, our commiserations. It sounds like what I would term as open wallet surgery, Ian. There's nothing more painful. Nothing more painful.
Yeah. Yep.
We have, yes, thank you everybody in the live chat for listening to Bolstrick's Tale of Woe and all the sympathy that you have furnished him with. Victor Fontaine says the Barnes & Noble Arrow half sale hits in August. There you go. So there's a second wave of that. And we have, and a few picks there from Prop Dude Sharp Arrow sale. He's just got Dark City, Conan, Under Siege, and Desperado in 4K. The 10% code works on top of the sale. There's a tip from the top there.
Only on your first order, I believe.
Yes, I haven't ordered anything yet. There's a couple of things that I really want that's already like quite expensive. So I'm thinking, well, I can't really afford both. The Stranger Things box set is out soon as well. So there's that. I think, oh God, I'm going to have to choose between this and that and that and this and all that kind of thing, Rabbi. I suppose I could just have a hard drive like you, Rabbi.
No, there go, baby. That's the way I roll.
We are not going to get. I'm too mad to talk about hard drives. I'm just going to summarize this by saying we do not put movies on hard drives. That's all.
All I'll say is this. The Rabbi is always hard. That's all I'll say.
You can be as hard as you want. You do not. You want hard copies. That's your hard.
Ian, I want to ask.
The other night. It was lovely.
I want to ask Ian. Our special honored guest. What's your opinion on physical media versus just putting everything on a hard drive?
Well, it's best that you have physical media because it comes with the box and maybe a little leaflet in there and stuff, and all that's good stuff. Downloading's fine. It's fine as long as you got a download that actually has the right spec, because you can get it in different sizes and stuff like that. You should get the download as the true spec that the film was meant to be seen in. As long as you got that, I don't mind downloads.
All the statistics, all the finer details, give them a good going over.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that.
Can't go far wrong.
You want that in 4K.
A word from the wise there from the Mega Geeky and David Diaz. Thank you, everybody, for all the tips there, too. Do you want some more? That's the question. I think you probably do. So swipe left on this, not right. Swipe left, and we'll be back with more in the shake of a Dog's Doodah, if you know what I mean. Let's have a quick blast of this.
Yeah, you got some change for cigarette machine?
Yeah.
All right, give me the key.
How much you get?
Enough.
Ooh, it's got a smart, isn't it? It's got a smart. And we're back.
Crazy
everybody.
film.
Thank you. It is, yeah. I like
That's from the next Spielberg movie.
Welcome back.
Wasn't the last Spielberg movie? Wasn't it awful? I can't remember.
Yeah,
Disclosure
it
Day.
was.
That was a few weeks ago. Wasn't it?
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, God, that was awful.
Before that, was it the one about his family? I know he hadn't done one for a couple of years, had he?
I didn't watch that one. Yeah.
No, me neither. No 3D, please. No 3D, please, says Peter Harrington. Are you sure? Are you absolutely sure?
I would like that in 3D.
In 3D, right. Yeah. What movie is this? Asks Father Miller. I've forgotten, mate. I've forgotten, Chris. So, Fluffy's Revenge, says Matthew Pounder. It's something you could pick up in the average video rental shop.
Back in the day. Like a giant feral cat. It was just that mad.
It was a hand puppet. That's what it was.
No. You're telling him. I'm saying it's the story.
It's the wonder, the magic of cinema, Ian. The magic of cinema, as dispensed to us in our childhood by some obliging young woman like this who didn't believe in bras. She obviously thought they were sexist. And
just to clarify, are we saying the man driving the car was a puppet or the kitty cat?
All of them.
All of them.
Yes. Maybe they were. Yes. So we are back for more. I forgot to tell you earlier on. I'm Dan Hadley, Birmingham's king of the geeks. We've got Chris. We've got Ian. We've got Gary. We've got the Rabbi, and we've got plenty more else to get stuck into. I know the people newbies that are here. I know a lot of it doesn't make a great deal of sense, but we do our best. We do our best. Sort of,
but everyone, sorry, Dan, everyone used to have what do you call those shops before Blockbuster came?
They call them mom and pop shops now, don't
they?
But
everyone had one of them, right?
It was like
I used to work at one for a long time.
They were sort of one wall in a newsagent was often the case, but there were dedicated shops as well in the average high street, which
that's where I rented my Star Trek Next Generation from when it was the first season. My local delicatessen had like a few racks of
wow. But it's amazing, isn't it?
The curtain and ask for their special stuff. Is that what it was like?
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? No, but it's amazing, isn't it? How they were allowed to do that because the copyright for films on VHS and beta wasn't quite solidified, if you know what I mean. So it's crazy because the shop that I knew, which is like down the road from me, one side was Betamax, the other side was VHS.
Same.
And I actually, I was like, I don't know how old I was, but I was very young, and I got Evil Dead from them. Do you know what I mean? And it was a pirate copy. It was a really good pirate copy. So it's incredible, isn't it, when you think about it?
I remember the store that we had. It used to be called the Video Shop, and this was about as ghetto as they get. Yes, it literally did have the section with the drapes, with the naughty movies. This was it was basically, so they did have beta and VHS. They would have them right next to each other. But this shop was owned by a rather large fellow. I would say probably somewhere between 400 and 500 pounds. We had some names for him. He was a very angry guy too, but he used to just sit there and smoke all day, like just chain smoke in the counter behind where you kept the videotapes. He was also very lazy, so half the time his tapes weren't even in cases. So he's basically just sitting there next to the videotapes smoking, and it was kind of a known thing that he was. If you rented videos from this place, there was a good chance that it may gum up your VCR, because I don't know what he was doing to these tapes, but chain smoking next to them may have had something to do with it. But you go in there and it's like there's a cloud of smoke, like there's a sticky film all over everything. It was, but yeah, that's what it was. So
and that's why Blockbusters won, right? Because they came on and did the McDonald's experience with video.
Can we just pause the proceedings for a second and address the issue of Ian's food delivery, which we were all just witness to?
Oh, what did you get? Anything good?
Oh, I missed it. What's he had?
I mean, that was like, you had, I don't know who it was, if it was like a family member or a concierge or a butler or whatever it was, came in and just delivered his dinner to him.
I'd love it if Ian had a butler. And that's like
I couldn't believe that.
Well, I couldn't find the off switch on the camera. So
there you go. I couldn't find the off switch on the camera.
A full plate of dinner.
Be right back.
That's what it is. Yeah, sorry about that.
What do you get? What's dinner? Let us all know.
Fish and chips, mate.
Don't bust your block, whatever you do.
Fish and chips? Okay, that's good.
Nice. What, homemade or like takeout?
No, takeout.
Oh, I want to try and make fish and chips this week.
I tell you what, you don't get this sort of stuff on Friday Night Tights, do you? Take that one. There is something else. You have the Saturday night shites unless somebody's checked that delivery order out properly.
Me.
And we don't want that, do we? We don't want that. So so we talked about the Arrow sale earlier on. That's a good thing. Depends on how flush you are. That's generally a good thing. But we've been keeping tabs on what else is going on at Arrow lately, including this. So they have launched a new. Now, Chris told us that this was coming. They've launched a new genre label called Toy Robot Video. So this is a subsidiary of Arrow itself. It's launching in September with 5 cult classics on Blu-ray. And it's a slate that features sci-fi, martial arts, and camp horror, all that kind of thing, as well as a few childhood favorites. So we've got a breakdown here of the first initial wave of releases from Toy Robot Video. I mean, I've got no idea the kind of work would go into founding any kind of new label, whether it's a subsidiary or not. And they have had teething problems with this. There was a lot of demand for people who wanted to know more, and so much so that their website went down. So, but they did assure customers that the launch of the website had been delayed, but the September releases will still be available for pre-order at other retailers. So they had a few teething troubles there, but they're offering 10% off on first order. So that's always a good thing. And there's a list of movies here, which I wanted to run past you in a similar way than we do with the Arrow stuff, because this is an intriguing list, different but the same. First of all is this one, Ian, from 2025. This is Marshmallow, and the plot is that at a secluded summer camp, a shy 12-year-old boy is thrust into a living nightmare when a campfire tale about a psychotic doctor suddenly comes true. It's described as a slasher treat for viewers who like a smart and stylish mystery. So a psychotic doctor comes a calling here for this poor kid, Jodie Whittaker. I wonder. I'm not sure. Anybody heard of Marshmallow? I haven't.
I haven't either.
It's a very arresting cover. Question everything. It says question everything. It sounds more than a little Stranger Things. Gary, was my first thought when I heard that breakdown.
Yeah, I mean, even the art of that boy looks like one of the characters on Stranger Things.
Yeah, he's got the bowl cut that I had
made?
when I was 10. 2025.
I'm not sure what the tagline has to do with a slasher movie. Where is this question everything?
No, I suppose we've got to find out when we watch it. Yeah, this poor kid had my haircut when I was 10 as well. So when I was listening to Bonnie Tyler and all that kind of thing, this is largely what I look like. Sadly enough. So so it revolves around a couple of kids. And it sounds very interesting, because you can't really have a slasher film aimed at a family audience, can you? But I suppose there's nothing wrong with scaring the living daylights out of the kids in the kind of hiding behind the sofa sort of way. And that does look like that kind of movie, like quasi X-Files-y in some of the imagery here.
Wow, it looks good.
You never heard of it?
Seeing it? No, never heard of it. Never heard
That's
of it.
Marshmallow. The designs for these are very eye-catching. They've got this band that runs up the side of each release with a few little details about the year it was released, the director, and the sort of subgenre that it belongs to. So whether they're going to build a whole range that are all color-coded, I think that's how it's going to.
They may be. Well, I had to step away for a second, but yes, this release is actually good news if you're a physical media fan, one of the 5 that can still afford physical media. But yeah, so I don't know if you said this earlier, Dan, but this is actually a sub-label of Arrow Video.
Yeah.
And it is run by the people that used to run Scream Factory, mainly Cliff McMillan, who I've mentioned many times before, because he left Scream Factory a few years ago. Arrow's main line has gone more mainstream, although they still release the occasional thing. But unlike Scream Factory / Shout Factory, who are idiots, Arrow realized there is a massive market for lesser known niche movies. So basically this small range will be probably our ultimate replacement for Scream Factory, but not just horror. It's horror and cult titles. But there's actually a lot that they can release here. There's a lot of former Scream Factory titles that have been out of print for over a decade before people really started collecting digital media. And obviously the same person who now is running Toy Robot commissioned those originally. There's also a lot of releases from Twilight Time, which have been out of print for years, and old Kino Lorber stuff, because they typically only license for 5 years. So I think it was a few weeks ago I was saying, there's that hole from Scream / Shout Factory that was never filled because they suck. But it has now been filled by the same people at Arrow Video. So basically, this is the continuation of what Scream Factory and to a lesser extent Shout's cult movies used to be. And
Yeah,
if you already explained that, Dan, I apologize. I had to leave it. I just
no, I don't. You really fleshed that out. I mean, I'm looking at the stuff that's in the release, and the range is similar to the Arrow range, but deeper, slightly different. I don't know if they're all sort of family titles, if that's why they're called Toy Robot, or I don't know, but it just seemed color coded. We've got this Ninja Wars. We've got Ninja Wars here, Chris, from 1982. This one. So this is, again, Arrow, they put out a lot of these sort of chop socky movies, Ian, lots of samurai sword things. And this one blends ninja lore with dark fantasy. So it says in the blurb, the film follows a wandering ninja who becomes entangled in a deadly conflict between rival clans in feudal Japan. A brutal massacre soon wipes out his comrades, setting off a stunning battle for supreme power. So it's got the usual people in kimonos, holding dragon swords, and all sorts of stuff kicking off.
Whoa.
The looks of things. So this looks slightly unusual. So are they films that we're meant to take seriously? But then I suppose cult movies, they tend to be a bit off the wall, Gary.
This looks like something out of Big Trouble in Little China or something. With the yellow bars.
These movies leave me cold, and they all look the same to me, Rabbi. I think I've said that before.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for me. But while you're talking, I was just looking through the Kino sale, right? And I saw something that was just for you. The entire run of Columbo and another run of Columbo: The Return. I thought, wow, that is like down with
Columbo:
love.
The Return. Yeah, I do love a bit of Columbo.
That set is awesome.
It is.
Actually, Ian, if you have not seen those, the restoration of those in Kino Lorber really is touch and go. Some are great, some are not great, and some are bloody awful. Not so for the Columbo set. It is the most impressive restoration I've ever seen on an old TV show.
Really?
Except I will amend that statement, Chris, except a few, not all, of the Return one, which was the 1989 through 2003 revival. They did like 24 TV movies. A lot of those were filmed and initially shown in standard, the 4x3, but they've put everything in widescreen, which means
I looked into that to figure out, and there's different reports. I know the first season is actually in 4x3. Which was 89. Somewhere, apparently, I think it's similar to what they did with ER in the X-Files and a few other shows, where the actual negative was 16 by 9. They did Star Trek did this too.
Oh, really?
But
okay.
Off the sides. No, it's as far as I can tell, and I couldn't get this confirmed, but this is the speculation. And typically, Kino Lorber is most boutique labels won't zoom into something because they know. Collectors actually hate it, but from what I can see, the first season was shot in 4x3, like that.
It was,
the way it was shot was edited. As far as I know, after that, the actual original negative was 16 by 9. It was just cropped specifically for television. I think if you look at some of the scenes, you can kind of tell because there's a little bit space, a lot more space on the sides. Okay. So from what I can tell, and it's just speculation because I did look into this and couldn't get a definitive answer.
Well, it's good to know.
But it looks like it's because if you get ER or the X-Files, both of those started a little bit later, 93 for X-Files, 94 for ER. If you get those DVDs, you'll see that from the beginning, they're 16 by 9 because they were actually shot that way. Star Trek: The Next Generation was also actually shot in 16 by 9, but what they did is, if you see pictures of what the full image looks like, you can see, all the lighting and everything off to the sides. I guess it was just cheaper to use the film. But no, from what it's
go ahead. Yeah, it's Columbo, right? That the first season and the 70 season, they were shot in 35. So the picture's always going to be great. If it goes through whatever process it goes through, it's going to be pristine. And that's what I'm assuming you're talking about, Chris, on the ones they put out. So that's why. But the ones that they did in the 80s, that was shot, and I think it was shot in 35, but then it was transferred to video.
Video,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? So that's why the quality is not so hot.
They did that they were doing that with Dallas as well. You notice a massive drop off in quality in the later seasons because they were shooting them. They were shooting it on 35mm, but they edited it on video.
Yes,
they did that.
With all sorts of problems.
I've been working my way through the 70s for the past few years. I've only watched a couple of the 90s, and there's not a whole lot of info on there because I don't know if they actually rescanned the film for the return. I know they did for the original. It was already edited that way. That is something I'm gonna look that up and find out. Was it a rescan of the film?
Yeah, I'd like to know
because it looks better than an upconverted video.
I think so.
I haven't got any pictures of Columbo, so this will have to do.
It's the wrong one.
I love Telly. I have the entire Kojak series.
Do you guys know that? So basically, something happened that was worse than the Starbucks coffee thing in was it Game of Thrones? So I can't remember. I think it was Netflix re-released Mad Men. Okay, and Mad Men was kind of for free. So they released it in 69 because it was shot 69 on, I think it was 35. But there's a scene in it where one of the characters starts vomiting. Okay, and in the original scene, obviously they cut off the sides. But they showed it on Netflix without the effects, where you see two guys with pumping this stuff on the left side of the screen, and the tube that goes on that guy's mouth coming out. It literally got broadcast that way. It's absolutely mental. So yeah, absolutely mental.
What are you saying?
I think they corrected it.
Wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, but the Mad Men one's even worse.
It sounds unmissable. Moving on to this short list of films, there's this one, which is a rare example of a film I've actually seen. This is The Guyver 2 Dark Hero from 1994. Superhero Sean Barker battles to change his destiny and save the planet from ancient evil. He must use his bio-boosted powers to settle unfinished business with a race of evil human mutants known as the Zonoids. Sounds painful, doesn't it? This one's out on September the 7th. I have actually seen this. Both of these sort of Guyver movies, they probably made more of them, but it's this kind of bio suit. It's very kind of post Tim Burton's Batman, but before obviously Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. It's harmless fun, really, but the plots are never anything to write home about. Anybody else seen this?
I remember seeing the posters, but I've never actually seen it. No.
Many years ago, I was very drunk.
You don't want an inflamed Zonoid. I know that.
No, you have to rub something in at least before you take it down the GPs. Yes, that's the Guyver 2. Very colourful cover there, and an array of art cards from Toy Robot Video with this release. So
the cover makes it look. At first, I thought it was anime based on the cover, but I guess it's live action, right?
And it's only when I looked and see, what is this? I went and looked to see if I could find a couple of pictures. I remember that movie. The guy who looks a bit like Brandon Scott Lee, and that kind of low-level Crow. Yeah, it does look like the Crow done on a TV movie budget, but. Again, this film clearly has a following. Otherwise, they wouldn't be putting out the Guyver 2 Dark Hero. So
now, I have to ask, would the Scottish version of this be called MacGyver? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
That's worse than one of my jokes.
Dear me. More chop socky, I'm afraid, in the form of Roaring Fire from 1981. This sounds a little bit more idiosyncratic. It stars Sonny Chiba, who at least I've heard of, a Texas-raised rancher, travels to Japan to track down his long-lost twin brother. Brilliant. I suppose one of them's got a tash. That's usually the way it goes. Only to find him dead. So the twin brother's dead, and he has to dig deeper to uncover his uncle's criminal plot to steal a priceless 130-carat diamond. You got everything in there. Everything in that plot, Rabbi. It's the kind of thing that you'd write.
Tarantino's a huge fan
I only heard no Sonny Chiba from
Tarantino.
Tarantino, right?
Yeah.
What was it?
Which ones was he in?
Romance?
Yeah,
So,
basically.
This is not my thing. I don't know anything about it. I wouldn't watch it. If you like
Tarantino's a huge fan. It's a huge fan of Sonny. Tarantino.
I'd be more inclined to watch this one, Rabbi, because it's modern. It's not set in feudal Japan. So the speedboats, there's
I
buses.
still have zero interest.
Yes, it's all that sort of stuff does sort of leave me cold. I'm sad to say, despite the pretty girls, it's And I do like it's kind of when I saw Enter the Dragon, I was a little bit disappointed with Enter the Dragon, but when I saw it, I could sort of appreciate where it was coming from and all of the things that were coming into it externally. There was a dash of Bond, a dash of this, a dash of that. So maybe I would get something out of this one. But yeah, the feudal stuff. Yeah, they can keep that. So that's Roaring Fire. That's out on September the 7th. But it's the final one of the 5, which is the most interesting for a number of reasons, because it includes a special extended cut of this film that's never been seen before. This is Masters of the Universe from 1987.
Wow.
A film doubtless each of us knows pretty much inside out. After it's to be 40 years old next year. This one, Chris stars Dolph Lundgren and Frank Langella alongside Meg Foster, Courtney Cox, and various other people. Good people. The evil Skeletor seeks a mysterious cosmic key to turn himself all-powerful and threatens to conquer the planet of Eternia. The heroic He-Man and a small group of freedom fighters join forces with 2 teenagers all the way back on Earth to fight back. September the 14th for this release. This hasn't long been released by 88 Films in Britain, so you can't get this one in the UK officially, but you can import it. There's art cards and lots of extras. This has got a lot of people excited, Gary. I know this was slightly after your childhood, but
no, I love this movie. I think Frank Langella is fantastic in this movie.
I love it.
And I mean, it's got Tom Paris from Voyager in it. And I'm curious, how much longer is the extended version? Did they add back like deleted scenes or something? Or
listen, it's telling me there's Tom Paris in it makes me want to buy it even less.
No, he's good.
I liked it at the time. I'm not gonna buy it again. If it was on, I might look up in a drunken stupor.
Well, Rabbi will just add this to his hard drive, and he'll be very sad.
No, I wouldn't waste the space.
Any movie with Billy Barty in it is worth having.
I've got the 88 Films release here, so I'm not going to be rebuying it. But I must say, it does sound. There's extras on this. There's extras on the 88 Films release, but nothing like what's being listed for the Toy Robot video. This seems to be their showcase release that is getting a lot of the attention.
I mean,
Chris,
hopefully, maybe they've recorded some new commentaries for it.
I am very excited for this one. I have pre-ordered it, so if it's in the budget for September, we shall see. But I live in Canada. Nobody here has any money, but that's a whole other story. But no, this is they wanted to launch this title with a bang, and they definitely did that. And Skeletor in this is awesome. Now, one of the everybody says this film is very homoerotic. Well, watch Nostalgia Critic's video on this. It's actually hilarious. He goes into it. A few other people have, but I don't care. And I will go on record as saying I have never understood the hate for this movie ever. Period. I loved it when I saw it. My God, almost 40 years ago. I'm so old. This sucks. But yes, I loved it when I watched it in 1987. Loved it when I picked up the DVD. Watched it most recently about a year ago. Still like it. Don't understand why people hate it. We'll never understand why people hate it.
No, we do understand why people hate it, because it wasn't a true adaptation of the cartoon. And remember, at that moment in time, the cartoon was huge, and that's why they didn't like it. And in fact, I didn't like it when I first saw it. I can appreciate it now for what it is, but when I first saw it, I thought, nah, this isn't the cartoon. You know, where's Orko? Do you know? That was my first thought.
Exactly.
They didn't have the budget for Orko. But
I know.
Well, kind of fun when this came out. He-Man it came out in 87, and sort of the He-Man popularity was probably around 85. Yeah. By 87, it had kind of dropped off a little bit. Yeah. So by this point, I still had my He-Man action figures, but I was more obsessed with Thundercats at the time. After I'd moved on from He-Man, maybe I had no taste when I was little, But yeah, I could see why people do that, and
It's not that.
especially because it's,
I always,
we go back
Chris,
to Earth.
I always liked it as well. I've been standing up for both this film and Helen Slater's Supergirl movie for the best part of 40 years because nobody else seemed to like either of them.
No.
But I wouldn't kid myself. I mean, in particular, Supergirl's not. It's a very average film. But this, I think, on its own terms, I think if you showed this to a child who'd never seen He-Man before or heard of it, never played with the toys, then they'd get on board with this and they'd enjoy it for what it is. But I do agree with Ian. This is why it didn't leave me cold. But obviously, I left the cinema as how old was I? 13. I left the cinema as a 13-year-old with my younger brother who was like 10 or 11. He was the big He-Man fan, and of course, he was asking the questions that Ian's asking. Where's Orko? Where's Battlecat? What about this?
Yeah.
What about that? And so it did shortchange their target audience, I suppose. But I do agree with you. I think the film's aged quite well, even if the story is obviously it's the standard kind of story.
It's better than Superman 4.
I will go on record saying this is one of my favorite guilty pleasures. Now, Superman 4 is a dumpster fire. I saw that around the same time. Dear God.
But it was responsible for Superman for 4's budget being cut, wasn't it? This one and some other film. But look, it's really bad because what they did was they wanted to make Master Universe, but it didn't have enough money. And then they started changing the script. Like, how could we make kids come and see it? Let's just add 2 teenagers in there. Maybe that'll attract teenagers. And it just went on and on. And then they made the film. And
Courtney Cox
and this is
prime.
why.
Well,
yeah, it was.
Has anybody watched the sequel to this? Because there is a sequel to it.
Well, I didn't know.
No,
Oh,
no,
no,
I didn't
Here
know.
it comes. What? Really?
Yes, there is. If you've ever seen Cyborg with Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Yes.
this was canon, and yes, they had a habit of stepping on rakes. Although I do like many canon films, but no, there was a sequel to this. If you've ever seen Cyborg, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, all the costumes, all the sets, everything were made for Masters of the Universe Part 2.
Right.
Somehow, canon lost the rights. Somehow, there's multiple stories as to what actually happened here, but somebody screwed up somewhere. I think they waited too long to make it or something. So they had all the sets. They had everything ready to go with He-Man, and I guess they lost Dolph Lundgren because you're not going to be playing He-Man. So like, well, we spent all this money, and you people lost the rights because you're idiots. Yeah. So we're going to take all the sets, all the costumes, everything, and we're going to make Cyborg.
Well, technically,
I know that according to the Blu-ray, the existing Blu-ray commentary from the director, like I know that one of the things that they cut at the end as she's saying goodbye, as the character of Julie is saying goodbye and everything, there's like a cut. You can tell there's an obvious cut edit in there somewhere. So maybe, and they said that scene was a lot longer. So maybe that's the kind of thing they add back if this is an extended edition.
Yeah,
I mean,
this film is okay. As I said, I can appreciate it now, and I think Dolph Lundgren, he was quite good in it, and also Skeletor was quite good in it. But as I said, right, I can understand why people were disappointed with this because 2 to 3 years ago, He-Man had stopped, but people were still fresh in their minds. And when they were going to make a He-Man movie, everybody's like, "Oh, can't wait to see it." And then you're given this, so yeah, I understand why people were pissed. Basically, but
Nicholas Horton says apparently the Mo2 sequel was going to feature Skeletor discovering the Snake Men.
Well,
I believe that they're in there. They're just wearing different costumes. But it is, if you have not seen Cyborg, it is fascinating. This is what happens when a studio bungles the rights because they're apparently
they're rubbish. Yeah.
It's a very embarrassing.
They have character, but this is where I will say now. I'm also the person who admitted I love the Resident Evil films, all of them. So I do occasionally like me some crap. So okay, I will change. I could see why people didn't like this. I don't agree with them because you're pooping on my childhood like bums poop in my backyard. But I like it, but if you didn't like it, I could see why you didn't. So I'll meet you halfway.
I've always had a soft spot for this. at the time, I was hoping we weren't as tuned in then. There was no such thing as the internet. Obviously, a couple of magazines a year, so I had no reason to believe there wasn't going to be a sequel to this at the time, and I was quite disappointed that was all. But like, yes, you're quite right. By '87, Transformers had been a thing. The Turtles was about to hit it pretty big, and so this did feel like 2 or 3 fads ago. I suppose we've had to wait nearly 40 years for a proper adaptation, in my opinion, of Masters of the Universe. I loved this year's film. I thought it was absolutely stunning in all the things that I didn't get from that film when I was 12, 13. I got from this new film and lots more too. So better late than never, I think, in that case. But I do appreciate all the work that went into this film back then, Ian, because even though they couldn't, it's quite clear that they had a cap on the budget. There's only so much you can do. But there's still a lot of imagination at play in there, I think, splitting the time zone between modern day and Eternia. Obviously, that's been repeated in the new film as well, even if it's just 10 minutes. But I think it was done quite well in the original movie. It was quite inventive, I suppose.
I thought Dolph was the... So when I saw Dolph, I was like, oh, he's a grown-up He-Man. He isn't like Prince Adam in the cartoon. He's a very grown-up, very masculine He-Man. And exactly. And I actually think that really worked for the movie, but everything else sucked, basically, as far as I was concerned. When I first watched it, personally. But as I said, I can appreciate it now. When I watch it, it's one of those sucky films that's quite enjoyable. So yeah. So it's always going to be remembered. This is always going to be remembered. It's one of those films that didn't do very well, but it will be remembered. It's crazy.
So this is unconfirmed. I was just kind of digging around a little on the net. Apparently, one of the rumors for what this extended edition could possibly be, some of the talk is that it's the audience preview version, which had that extended ending that I mentioned before, plus some other scenes. And then the studio came in, wanted to cut it down so they could have found and restored that full audience preview movie. And now they're calling it the extended edition. That I'd be really up for seeing that. So I'm probably going to get this one.
It also had Strickland in it, didn't it? The guy who played Strickland was in it as well, wasn't he?
Character,
yes, he was in everything back then, always the same thing. But I must agree with Dan on one thing. I actually I hadn't intended to see the He-Man remake, but the nephews convinced me, so I went to go see it. I thought it was going to be terrible because everything's terrible now. I actually did not hate it. And I'm going to go against some of my contemporaries who I agree with on many things, but not this. This is not woke. This movie parodies woke in the same way Send Help parodies woke. They're not woke movies. They're making fun of woke, and I think they both do it brilliantly. Although the one thing I will say about this movie is it came out 15 years too late. I think it was actually Red Letter Media said this, and I agree with them. Had this movie come out in 2010, it probably would have been huge because at that point, the people that grew up, younger Gen X, older millennials, people that grew up with He-Man, were of the age where they would have wanted to see it, and their kids at the time.
Yes, that was me. My kids would have been the ideal age.
Yep. And but now it's when you release it in 2010, you're going to have a few people that are see it, but like the actual He-Man fans, they're in like their 50s on average now, probably. Their kids are grown up, probably don't care. There's a nostalgia factor behind it a little bit, but it's one of these things that just came out far too late. But I will say it here, it's not terrible. And it is not woke. You have to look at it as being a parody because just like Send Help, another movie that was raked over the coals, Sam Raimi's recent movie, which I actually loved, they were saying it's woke. No, if you know anything about his humor and the way that movie works out, it isn't. The first 20 minutes of that movie is making fun of woke movies because it's so over the top.
It's hardly subtle in doing so either. It's very clear they're taking the piss out of woke culture. And
also, Dan, everybody in that movie is terrible. Not He-Man, but Send Help. So
yeah, I like Send Help. I thought it was good.
There you go. Somebody other than me that actually likes it.
Oh, a lot of fun.
I'll have to watch
a lot of fun.
It's another thing I got to see. Yeah.
Masters of the Universe is they want to make more of these. Travis Knight is very keen to make more. There was initial reports that it had been greenlit. Now I think Amazon is saying as long as it does well on streaming and home media, then they will proceed. So I do hope they invest more in this. I mean, it did look a very, very expensive film. Certainly a lot more expensive than the original 1987 film that was messed around with and cut, and there were so many compromises that had to be made. But that was how things were then. This time we got to see Battle Cat do a little bit of roaring there and lots of promise for what could come next. Very, very exciting stuff. So those are the initial releases for September 2026, the launch month for Toy Robot Video. I mean, does this bode well, do you think, Chris, for this label going forward? Are they giving the people... there's only really Marshmallow and Masters of the Universe that really interest me, but do you think that they will satisfy the target audience for this?
I think they will. I'm interested because this is supposed to be a mix of everything as far as I know. I am mainly looking forward to seeing what they do for the Halloween season. But this is the rare instance where a new boutique label that isn't new comes across where they actually, out of the gate, I have faith in this company because, again, the best run in the history of physical media, whether you're a horror fan or not, was Scream Factory. From 2012 to 2021, and then it imploded after that into the absolute joke it is right now. But the individual who created the Scream Factory sublabel of Shout Studio, well, now known as Shout Studios, the person who created that, the person who commissioned all the films, the person who headed the restorations, the person that headed the extras, is now the person in charge of Toy Robot. And the Scream Factory run, there's like, you obviously have to be a horror fan and you have to like niche horror, but I can't think of anything that they released that to me anyway was terrible. Some were more interested than others, but Cliff McMillan knows what he's doing. He has a proven track record of this. Arrow became the absolute juggernaut it is now shortly after he came over to the company. Now they're doing this new sub-label. And also, unlike most other companies, you can actually pre-order these in Canada through Amazon. And it actually, if you look at the Amazon description, it comes up as Arrow Video because it's the same company. So I am optimistic. The only potential issue I see is we are in a very different climate than we were during the reign of Scream Factory, where economic times were a lot better. And, people could afford 5 or 6 releases a month. I think now people have to be very selective because nobody has money. And if you live in Canada, you literally have no money. So the only thing that I've pre-ordered from this first batch is Masters of the Universe. I know their website wasn't up yet. There was some kind of delay. The one thing that I wish they would do is, even though they want to run this label separately, I wish they would combine it with the Arrow Video site because you get points on Arrow Video. I'm assuming it'll probably be the same with this. So I would like to see that. I am optimistic, but I will not be able to collect any physical media the way they want. Like, this will not be like the heyday of Scream Factory where I was able to pick up any release that looked interesting. I might be able to select one release a month, maybe every 2 months, but I am very excited for Masters of the Universe. So we shall have to see.
Very good. We've got a comment here from Power Ranger Donny, who says, my good friend John Campea didn't like the new Motu movie, but neither did he hate it. I haven't. John's still on YouTube, isn't he? He's long gone from Collider and places like that. Obviously, I think he has our friend Robert Meyer Burnett on that show, Donny. We'll have to try and get Rob back on the show, Ian. I think it's been so long. See if we can get John Campea on for that matter. I know he's been around for a really long time. I think he kind of originated a lot of this. He's a bit of a Marmite figure, I know, but an interesting man nonetheless. And whatever he's got to say about any movies, I think he's always worth hearing, whether I agree with him or not. So thanks for that, Donny. We've got more comments here. People were, I think lots of Master of the Universe fans have been sort of flushed out, but it's a little after Victor Fontaine's time, but it's before Nicholas Horton's time. He's a child of the animated series from the early noughties there. That's a fantastic remake that they did around 2002, which I believe is coming out as a steelbook soon. There were 2 seasons of that. Brilliant series, absolutely brilliant. I couldn't agree more. Matt Potts is in the live chat too. Our good friend Matt Potts. Ninja Wars, I am there. All caps from Matt Potts. And Funky is asking Freddy versus Jason 4K for Halloween. That would be good. The Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X 4Ks last year from Arrow were amazing. Yeah, we covered those. I'd probably buy Freddy versus Jason. I love that movie, and I know that again. It's like
I've never seen it.
Saying about Masters of the Universe. Like, everybody hates that movie apart from me. It made me laugh so much.
I've never seen it either. I've never seen the new Masters of the Universe, and I haven't seen Jason versus whatever. I haven't seen it. Maybe I should.
Was very good. I don't hate the 80s Masters Universe. I just don't. I'm not going to expend any time on it.
Well, Rabbi, you could just put it on your hard drive, and one of these days, by accident.
I could do it if I gave a shit, right? But
if it could take, don't get taken out.
Carol, that'll go on the hard drive.
I do know what you think. By all means, people out there, let us know which of those 5 titles you may be picking up or not in the comments. Ian.
No, just saying. I do understand what Chris is saying. If you're going to watch a film, I always try and watch it in the format that it was made. You were made to see it in, basically. Like when you review a film, like I have a lot of friends that review films. They have their own YouTube channel, and they review films, and they're reviewing films from India, if you know what I mean, Sailing the Seven Seas and all that stuff. And it's like, well, what kind of quality are they watching? What does that look like? And then judging it by that, they can't judge it really, because if you're watching, say, the Odyssey, and it comes from India, Odyssey's not meant to be watched that way. It's meant to be watched in IMAX. So that's what I'm saying. The only way you could, review it properly.
Ian, I plan to watch. Here's how I plan to watch the Odyssey. I'm going to wait till somebody uploads a video from their phone that they held under their chair, pointing up toward the screen. That's kind of how I'm going to watch Odyssey.
I don't know.
If they spot you in the concessions with that, it can turn ugly very, very quickly. You've got to watch these people. They can turn ugly very, very quickly.
God, no.
I'm dead against that kind of piracy. I'd have it all taken out myself. I don't see any point in watching blockbuster movies. I mean, obviously, I'm not a hypocrite. I won't say I've never downloaded something. Of course I have, but there's a limit. I think if I'm offered something from overseas which is like shaky and there's people getting up out of their cinema seats, it's plastered in subtitles and echoes, and you're not watching the film as the director intended. You're just getting the content to be able to blag your way in a pub conversation or to make a 10-minute YouTube video about, which again, if you're making money doing that, then that's up to you. But don't give me that you're a film fan if you're doing that.
I'm very serious about my film watching activities. If there's a film that I want to see, I have to make sure I see it in the cinema. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the only way to watch it. Again, right? If you're watching a film streaming or you've got a DVD put in there and you're watching it, you can pause it anytime you want. You can go to the toilet anytime you want. That is, that's one way to watch a movie. But I believe being locked in, you can't get up. There are people there as well. That's what I believe is the best way to watch a movie, personally. But that's just me, right? I'm assuming a lot of people disagree with what I'm saying, but.
No,
I'm very.
I want to fly over and go see Spider-Man with Ian and his family. I think that'd be a great. I think that'd be a great time.
Do you know what? Right, seriously, when I saw Endgame with my nieces, and there were about 4 of them that saw it there, right? I experienced what they experienced, because when I was a kid and I watched Back to the Future, there was that feeling, that greatness about the movie and how excited you were. And I saw myself through them when I watched Endgame, and they cried when Iron Man died, and do you know what I mean? Sniffles everywhere, and excited about the Hulk and this, that, the other. So that's why I love cinema so much, because you don't get that feeling if you're watching it on TV. You don't get that feeling if you're downloading it and you're watching it on your computer. The only way you can get that feeling is through
it's a
going to the
good
theatre.
white pill when you watch these movies with other people, particularly if one is outside of the target demographic, but the other parties are inside it. Then you can sort of see it through their eyes. You see the joy on their little faces, whether they're young ones or the elderly ones. You know, I used to take my grandma to see a couple of movies.
Well, my favorite movie experience was actually, good God, again, we're old, 35, Jesus Christ, years ago, which is when me and my best friend, his mom, took us to see Terminator 2. I was 13. I don't think I've ever been as spellbound by something on the big screen as I was with that to this day.
Yeah, I give you another example, right? So my mum, she turned 90 recently, and we went to see Michael together, okay? Because mum, you know, she loves these things. And my mum, right, you know, 90 years old, getting excited. And when the music starts, she's like, you know, bobbing her head up and down. And do you know what I mean? It's just that feeling you get when you're in the cinema. I remember my mum turning to me. There's that scene. I don't know if you've ever seen Michael. There's a scene in it where Michael's talking. He's trying to find a manager, right? And it's this long table, and he's trying to find a manager. And then he looks like Michael Jackson. And my mum turned to me and she said, "Ian, did he make this film before he died?" I'm like, no, mum. It's an actor. It's an actor. So you don't get that when you're watching at home. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
moments like that are priceless. You'll always remember stuff like that. Brilliant. Matt Potts says, "I can't watch a movie in the cinema ever again." I think he's not alone in feeling that way and responding now. I mean, it's a sad fact of reality, but it is true for a lot of people. It has to be said. And I saw Freddy in 3D at the cinema, says Peter Harrington. There we are. So it's confessing all. And the Blue Corner adds that Masters of the Universe is a must. That new release there from Toy Robot Video. But the big standout for me is the Guyver 2, finally out in HD. The first has been out several times, it would seem. So this has been something that the target demographic that I've been waiting for a long, long time. So yeah, it's good. Let us know more in the comments. Which release from Toy Robot Video have you got your eyes on? And tell us all.
Those eyes on.
Tell us all. Yes, enough of that smut and naughtiness. Let's go. How about here? How dare you, sir? How dare you? How dare you?
That was hilarious.
That's method acting.
He threw himself into that one, didn't he? And I thought you'd probably appreciate that fabulous example of film.
Either that or he was passing a kidney stone, one of the two.
I think he's been at that root beer that I tried. To be honest, maybe give the root beer another try and maybe get some movies on the go. And who knows, I may get through to the bottom of the bottle before I get two films in. That could be.
Is that the guy who owns Blockbuster?
That's Jerry Anderson.
Is that Jerry Anderson? Is it?
Who's now
No,
under
it's
Blockbusters?
it's not
Weird,
Jerry.
yes.
Do you know?
He's got them all there.
Do you know Blockbuster had more power than we thought? Basically, Blockbuster, after the cinema, Blockbuster, you would go to watch a film at Blockbuster, and the studios didn't have control over Blockbuster, so Blockbuster could turn down a film anytime they wanted.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? And they would never accept. Well, they do. They will never accept porn or anything like that in Blockbuster.
Yeah, I like that.
And
that's actually good.
Yeah. So they had a lot of power. A lot of people don't realize how much power Blockbuster had against Hollywood.
They should have done. They turned down streaming. Netflix.
Yeah, they did. They did. Yeah, they did. But they turned down a lot of films, though. They turned down a lot of films.
Do you think if they hadn't have said no, we could have ended up with Grot in the average Blockbuster?
Maybe. I don't know. Look, you know what? I love the Blockbuster days. I don't know about you guys. I love the excitement.
I love it. You go with the kids. pick out movies, look around. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, I'd go on Friday afternoons, see if I could.
It was an event in itself, whereas the old shops, the mom and pop style shops that we had in Britain, with the curtain and all that kind of thing, there was it was laid out in the same way a newsagent was. They applied to the movies the same philosophy as with the magazines. So all the adult stuff was on the top, all the electric blue titles, Rabbi, and I used to just stare up like that at whoever it was. Usually Linda Lusardi, Maria Whittaker, or somebody like that. Karina Russell was on the cover of these things. I think I saw an electric blue once, but none of them were actually in it. It was all these. It was the kind of chicks used to get on the front of the top of the Pops albums in Woolworths. Ian. They'd got them like doing the washing up or smoking down the car.
I remember electric blue was like you could show it on like ITV after 10. It was very tame.
What was that? So what was that video with Cindy Crawford? She made the exercise video, and then everybody started copying her because it was very suggestive, kind of, when you watch that video. That Cindy Crawford. Anybody watch the Cindy Crawford video?
I remember that.
I thought that was Jane Fonda.
No, Cindy Crawford was first.
Oh, okay.
Cindy Crawford was first.
Yeah, I always associate it with Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda came after. Yeah, she came after it. But Cindy Crawford was the very first.
That genre, like it ended with the shake weights. You ever seen the shake weight ad? That's your fault. They're like
Cindy Crawford. Wow.
We'll have to do a whole special where we do a director's commentary on the Cindy Crawford. This video here. What else could you want from a physical media night?
Rabbi's going to get us banned from the internet if we do that
again.
Yeah.
I know the Rabbi is now a free man. He is a free man. He's footloose and fancy free too. So I know he's going to plug a few glasses.
I am the Scarlet Darling. I'll be there in a minute. Okay, I've got to clean the dog food first.
So yes, he's under starters orders. Everybody, lock up your daughters, your mothers, and maybe your grandmothers. I don't know.
Listen, I'm not. What's the word? Prejudiced or discerning.
This free for 50 quid.
I know.
Stuff. Wow.
There's some good titles in there. Star Trek Section 31 is there, Ian, in case you haven't picked that up.
Right there in the bottom right.
There's a good one.
It's a terrible. I haven't even seen it, and I know it's bad. So
if you have no idea. Yes. Although that Chucky set is pretty good, but why would those bastards spider wrap it? They wrecked the case.
Yeah.
Okay. But
hey, Dan, is this
something that's going to blow your mind? Okay. I was looking through the Arrow video cell, and I came up with
put on the hard drive. Yes.
I came up with like about $300 worth of stuff over.
I told you.
Yeah, no, easy going through that cell. And then I was thinking, what if I research what 4K player I can get? Right, and I might actually get a 4K player. I'll tell you what the models I'm looking at next week, and you can scold me for looking at the wrong one.
I will not scold you. Mike.
You have to get the right TV though, Rabbi.
I got a 4K TV.
Right. Okay. So it's also, if you guys remember, they used to post little leaflets through your letterbox once they knew you were part of anything, and we used to get the Warner Brothers leaflet where it told you the films that were coming out, like
little catalogs and things.
We used to get so excited when you watch those things. You're like, I can own a Dirty Harry movie. That was what it was all about, wasn't it? Owning a movie. Yeah. So
I got into collecting by Doctor Who.
The tagline was when the sell-through market first expanded was that yours to keep, yours to treasure, available for a limited time only, yours to pass down to your children. Yes, they've probably inherited multiple copies of Walt Disney's Fantasia film, which you see in every charity shop in Britain, but they can't play them because nobody's got a VCR. Nobody's got a VCR anymore. Lots of people have something to say there about the fitness videos. Jazzercise, it was called, according to not Z3PO.
Everybody did the jazzercise in the 80s. It was one of them weirder trends, but fun to watch.
Funky demands a Arrow special edition of the Cindy Crawford one, and Matt Potts says that Jane Fonda was in 82 and Cindy Crawford was in 92, so there could be, we'll have to check the time and space continuum for that.
I think Cindy's video was incredibly famous, incredibly well shot as well. If you watch, I remember watching it. Yeah, it was, man.
It was a fun time for various reasons.
It was MTV at the time when Blockbuster Video came out, and it was getting those leaflets and Friday mornings, going to there and getting the latest titles. It was just an amazing time, and I know people
I would go on Sunday.
Can't understand that. Oh, did you?
Yeah,
you know,
that was in the 2000s.
Crazy. Yeah.
I missed the previewed section, and I wish I hadn't sold my. I still have tons of previously viewed Blockbuster DVDs, but I wish I hadn't. My entire VHS collection, like everybody else's, ended up in the skip, as you call it over there. We just call it the garbage dump over here, which is Canada. But yeah, it's now I actually regret it because you don't throw things away, kids. Become a hoarder because you never know what's going to become cool again. And
look at vinyl. You're absolutely right.
I still got my Indiana Jones 3-pack on VHS. I never throw that away.
So
in the box.
Ian, all I have left of my VHS days is I kept the cases for the Star Trek, the original series, the ones that with the transporter pad. I threw out the videos, but I ended up keeping all the cases because I remember renting them when I was a kid, and it was like, my one nostalgia thing. But that's all I have. Like all I had all of the Next Generation on VHS. That one actually ended up in the skip without me knowing about it. When my parents sold their house many years ago now, they threw a bunch of stuff out, including my Next Generation collection. The first well, my mother just wanted to get rid. Well, by that point, I had it on DVD.
Still got my
so it wasn't
vinyls.
that bad, but I'm like,
I hope that you send her a bill for that.
1991 to 1999 is what it took me to build that collection at $15 a tape. It is the most expensive thing ever.
I'd have sent her a bill.
I still got I still got my records. I hate when people call it vinyl records. I've still got my records, soundtracks, and stuff like that.
Ian, we had a destruction party, and we're lucky we didn't kill anybody getting rid of our records in the early 90s.
Ian, show your Close Encounters. Ian, show your Close Encounters album.
That what the actual
the vinyl? Yeah, no,
the vinyl.
The record.
Yeah, one sec.
The Close Encounters. That's
my Close Encounters one is there somewhere. 1 second, guys.
I can tell that the football match is about to kick off in half an hour here in Britain because the singing has already started from the pub at the other end of the road, and somebody who lives down there, they're already singing their hearts out. I think it's going to be a long night. I think it's going to be a long night.
There you go. Look at that.
I know, man. Close Encounters, and it's really old though. Look, remember that? Look at that. Look at that. Great. And the back as well. And do you remember this sign? Do you remember this sign? 1 second, if I just pull out the record.
Careful.
Not the vinyl. Not the vinyl. The record. Got the disco version of the
from Nico. I love that.
Yeah. And do you remember this sign? They used to be in a lot of records. The little. Do you remember that sign there? Yeah.
Was that the record producer, Arista?
Yes, AS. Yeah. So I'll never chuck this away because
honestly, Ian, I'm being serious. If I were you, I would take all those records today and put them in the refrigerator because with all that heat going on, I would want to just I would stack them in the fridge until this heat wave breaks.
I know.
Absolutely unbearable.
It's getting worse.
It is.
Being unbearable. Being awake, right? I got to go to bed.
Wait, Cream Cracker, dude. You know what? But I got an update for Frank.
What?
I have an update for Frank.
Oh, well, fuck off. Really? It's 11:30. Fuck Frank. Okay, that's probably what happened to him this week.
But bad things happened last week. You don't want to find out the resolution of the tornado?
That's not done.
There you go. That'll keep Rabbi up there.
I got some energy back. I got
yeah. Okay.
How much longer we got to go? Is there anything after Frank? I'll hang around with sort of fucking Frank.
No, but this is us wrapping up physical media nights. This time, if this has been a hell of a run of this show, we've been figuring a few things out, working out what we want to talk about, what you guys want to get involved with too, want to chip in with, and so obviously that'll continue in the comments, and we will be back refined and resplendent. But soon we head back, funnily enough, to the final frontier for the resuming of Warp Drive, our Star Trek coverage. We've got a new season of Strange New Worlds on the starting grid and several Star Trek anniversaries not that long away either. Stick with us if you're a Star Trek fan. If you used to be a Star Trek fan, we may be able to remind you why you loved whichever version it was in the first place, and cast aside any recent damage done to the franchise and done to you by persons unnamed and unknown. Ian, unnamed and unknown. We have hope in our hearts. Who knows where we're going next? So stay tuned. Stay tuned for all of that. But as ever, we've got a little bit of catching up to do. So don't be too sad. You can still reach us at the usual places in the comments section and on social media there. So get in touch with any requests, any feedback whatsoever, including any updates on any sheep that you may have in your charge, just like Bolstrek does. And this is Frank. It's this wasn't quite what I was expecting, Chris.
Yes. So if we remember last week, Frank was about to get taken out by a tornado, and the pigs were very happy because they hate Frank. Somehow Frank managed to survive the tornado, and he is perfectly happy. But if you look in the background, you'll see that the pigs are not happy. And something very bad is probably about to happen. Now, if you look there, one of them, I think, is going to take out Frank with a spatula. The other one's got a big spoon, but the other one has a knife. And those are not happy pigs. It's impossible to express the level of hatred these pigs have for Frank. And last week, they were perfectly happy if the tornado took them out, as long as it took out Frank. But Frank is somehow fine. He's looking a little bit more weathered this week than usual, because I don't think the farm is going very well, but Frank is an idiot, so he hasn't noticed that yet. He seems to be completely oblivious to the anger of the pigs. So I'm especially worried about the one that's got the knife. We'll find out what happens, but it could potentially be something of a bloodbath, because those pigs are pissed.
Who would take a knife to a pig fight, Chris? That's what I'm wondering now.
Well, that pig did. That pig is pissed.
It seems so. Where will it end? I think it's only going to go one way, isn't it? I think we all know that doom is inevitable, but we're in it to the bitter end. I'm not rooting for Frank anymore. I'm rooting for the pigs, Chris. I don't mind telling you, but we obviously appreciate your bulletins.
Well, he's pissed off the pigs. He's been terrible to the pigs, and he's an idiot. He's completely oblivious to the trauma he has caused. So we'll find out next week what happens with Frank. We know that the pigs have a plan. Their plans, every single one of them have gone awry so far, and they're not happy. The other animals have left. They're done, but the pigs are not giving up. They are going to see an end to Frank one way or another.
I got a bit of a chill running up my spine there. That's just shocking stuff. But yeah, keep us informed as ever. We're glad that your problems got sorted as well. It sounds like you've had a terrible day. You'd be glad to go to bed, but don't wish your weekend away, my friend. There's still
I'm
hope
broke.
of pulling something back from it. But cheers for that, Chris. And thank you to the Rabbi from another planet. He's made it through, despite having this
amazingly
crackers
enough, right?
well creamed.
By the way, Bowles, just before we go, what do you think of the Sony UBP X700?
It is a very good player, although like a lot of people, I'm a bit miffed with Sony at the moment. But it is the best player for the price. If you want to spend a little bit more, there's the Panasonic 450. If you want to get like the best, the Panasonic 820, although that's a lot more. But the X700 is now Sony's only player, but it is, for the money, it is well worth it. And at least their TV division is separate from their video game division, which is a bit of a dumpster fire at the moment. So yes, for the price, that is a good player.
Okay, I will look into it.
You just need to make sure that you do the firmware update as soon as you get it, because that.
Well, actually, they got a Panasonic 850 for about $1,200.
Sorry, which one?
Panasonic 850.
That's an old one. Are you sure it's not the 1000?
No, 850. I was like, that looks cheap to me.
That's not available here. Hasn't been in years unless it's available.
You get the Sony X500 for about $600.
For some reason, Israel has players that have been discontinued years ago. No, literally, if it's the 850, that hasn't been available in North America since like 2018. I'd go for the 450 if you're able to get it. If you want to go for Panasonic, the problem that you will run into potentially with the Sony is the third layer switching issue, where if you have triple layer discs, it will occasionally freeze when switching to the third layer. Every 4K player released except for Panasonic has had that issue.
I can tell you what, as a segment next week, I'll show you. I'll share the screen on the page, and you can review the options. There's tons of these ones. That are like
although I am very grateful. If I hadn't spent all my money and will be broke for the next year on a locksmith, I would gift you one, but I'm now broke. But I must say this: I'm glad our interventions have worked, and you are willing to. Oh, hello, kitten! And you are willing to at least contemplate something other than the atrocity.
You're winning me over, right? You're winning me over. Although again, I like the convenience of a hard drive.
Well, I've won you over, so
the trick is probably to do a bit of both.
But honestly, both is fine.
Sacrilege and get a 4K player with a USB.
they all have USBs.
Pure evil.
If you're going to do the USB, the Sony X700 plays every format and then some.
Okay.
You're streaming tomorrow. I don't doubt.
I am indeed. I will be my opening segment. I'll be talking about my divorce, which happened last week, which was kind of surreal in many ways. After who knows, whatever geeky shit's going on, I will probably something about Doctor Who. We shouldn't mention the name, but probably something about Doctor Who. Who knows or dares to dream? We will find out tomorrow.
There you go. Can't say much further than that, can we, Ian? Good to have you back, mate. You jumped on at the last minute there. Up to you. You're up to your neck in it in no time again, though, weren't you? It's like you've never been away.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh God.
Yeah.
What time is it again? Yeah, I'm sweating buckets. I would imagine you are as
So
well,
am I.
Ian.
Jeez.
Both suffering. People are coming down with heat stroke in Britain. So for all of you people overseas who say we're a bunch of pussies,
the heat got me trapped in my damn house.
So yes, it's not in our imaginations, is it, Ian? So I'm hanging on in there. So hopefully we'll be back to have you on at a later date.
Yeah, no, I'm going to try. I'm going to try and come
great.
as much as I can. Yeah, so
I'm losing all cognitive ability at the moment, so I'm starting to talk even more nonsense than usual. That's usually a sign, Gary, that I must bugger off. But not before I say goodbye to you and express my gratitude for your company once again.
And ask where his TV is.
Well, this is one of these days we'll be doing a special show when I get my new 150-inch television. No, this has been great. It's been great having Ian on, and good stuff. Everybody go on to Amazon Prime and watch Sheep Detectives. You'll thank me later. It's an instant classic, well deserving of your time.
I think we should do a review of that the way that we did on that bloody awful romantic comedy film. I think that could be a laugh. Yes, once again, my thanks to Chris, to Ian, to Gary, and to the Rabbi from Another Planet. I've really enjoyed doing this, spinning some discs and spouting some bullshit as well. But this is the bit where I remind you, you don't need to waste any more time, any more valuable screen time listening to us. Go and watch something nice. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Toodles.
Bye-bye. Bye, Bonds.
Bye.